Hello, everyone. Welcome to Backyard Musings, broadcasting live from our living room. Scott is still on assignment. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Okay, so Democrats tried to revive the border bill again. You know, the one that tries to legalize illegal aliens crossing the border. Republicans call this Kabuki theater.
Yeah, this should be dead on arrival.
Yeah, it will be. It's ridiculous. I think the only reason they do this is so that they know the Republicans are going to shoot it down, so they can say, well, like Corinne Jean-Pierre says, oh, Republicans don't want to work. They don't want to do anything to help. It's a ridiculous bill because they know their people, their listeners, their constituents won't read it. Well, we have a different kind of theater going on in New York. It's called the Benny Hill Show versus Trump. Those of you young enough to remember this know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was crazy. Crazy show.
So the defense called Abbott and Costello, Robert Costello, to the stand to testify in support of President Trump. That's my cat you can hear whining. Judge Merchan reprimanded Mr. Costello several times during testimony yesterday for proper decorum. Prosecutors objected many times to Mr. Costello's testimony. Mr. Costello sighed heavily, rolled his eyes, kind of like Beaker, and on the Muppet Show, and made audible reactions to prosecutors.
This whole thing is a sham. It
is a sham.
It's just, you couldn't write this stuff. It's like a skit on Saturday Night Live.
The only purpose is election interference. That's the only purpose. Keep them in that courtroom.
Yeah.
That's the only purpose.
So Judge Merchan commanded to give us the room or something like that. And the judge or the jury and all the spectators in the court left. And the court officers shouting to the press, "Get out, get out." I mean, it's just crazy stuff. Can you imagine this Benny Hill style where they all file out like a flock together, locked, looking at the ground, the video is shown three times the speed. Then the judge, Merchan, says, "You don't like my rulings?" You don't say, "Geez." You don't roll your eyes. Do you understand that? I'm like scolding them, That guy, I don't know. That guy's he's a character.
He's a piece.
Yeah. Then Judge Merchan orders the jury back into the room while in the middle of asking the jury to return at normal speed. The judge fired back at Mr. Costello. "Are you staring me down right now?" What a clown. Clear the courtroom. Give me a break. Are you looking at me? Are you looking at me? Mommy. Mommy. And Mr. Costello gives the Beaker the look, and then all fall out like a flock together, looking at the ground. The video is shown again. Crazy stuff.
Now picture the Blues Brothers at that fine dining restaurant trying to convince Mr. Fabulous to rejoin the band, and that customer with his daughters and his wife is saying to the maitre d', Mr. Fabulous, sir, your conduct is contemptuous right now. That's what Judge Merchan said. I'm putting you on notice that your conduct is contemptuous. If you try to stare me down one more time, I will remove you from the stand. I'll strike his entire testimony. Do you understand me? This is a quote from the judge.
Put you in a timeout. You're drawing up some.
I got tears right now. I got tears.
Benny Hill Show. Yeah, this is crazy stuff. Blues Brothers.
So then after the judge says this, Mr. Costello then asked whether he could respond. "No," Judge Merchan said. Yeah. "No, this is not a conversation." He didn't stick out his tongue, but you could just see this happening. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this guy he's I don't know. He's like a spoiled brat.
It's the Benny Hill Show, man.
So then President Trump's defense attorney, Todd Blanche, yesterday then motioned for an order of dismissal. Of course, that's probably not going to happen. Citing that there's been no evidence that any of the business records or filings related to the case were false. The case itself focuses on 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. DA Alvin Bragg's office must prove to the jury that not only did Trump falsify the business records related to payments to Stormy Daniels, but that he did not in furtherance of another crime, conspiracy to promote or prevent election.
So yesterday I saw Bill Maher. He's got an HBO show, right? And he's liberal, right? Bill Maher had Stormy Daniels on for an interview in 2018, and Stormy Daniels says, "Oh, it was consensual. I didn't black out. It was not rape. It was not incest. It was not nothing like that. All consensual." And then her testimony in the court was opposite of that.
Yeah,
crazy. Defense should have brought that in to have that viewed, that video.
She must be out of money.
Yeah. So this farcical kangaroo court, just like the J6 Democrat kangaroo court, is geared towards one thing: election interference. Why, you ask? Maybe a good question. Bragg is trying to create a nexus, trying to tie it together between federal election shenanigans and state falsifying business records. Federal and state. He's trying to tie the two together, right? AG Letitia James already set the stage for the falsifying business records, so that's in the air. I don't know if they mentioned it in the court. You can't believe anything that's coming out of that court. This is all about election interference, all of it.
Yeah, well, this stuff is federally. They're trying to make it a federal deal in a
state venue. Yeah,
right?
State venue. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So,
and the federal prosecutors already declined to prosecute for any shenanigans.
Right.
This is a non-disclosure agreement between Stormy and President Trump.
Right.
In exchange for you not saying a word, I'll give you whatever it was, $130,000, right? But then she blabbed her mouth, so he enforced that NDA for $3 million, and she said she won't pay any dime of it.
Yeah. And it's the same. She could have said no, right? She could have said no. I think
it could have went to the Inquirer. Yeah.
Yeah, probably made a heck of a lot more than $130,000. So anyway, so there needs to be some consequences, harsh consequences. First, Bragg and the prosecutor should be indicted on federal election interference charges.
All of them.
Yeah. Disbarred. Judge Merchan should be removed from the bench and also disbarred. Letitia James, I mean, she's a piece of work. Bragg's boss, they should all be indicted on federal election interference and disbarred. Let the jury decide on the election interference, but they should all immediately be disbarred.
All of them.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I mean, they're all attorneys, even the judge is practicing, so they should all be. This is one thing, election interference. It's all. Tie him up.
Not to mention the amount of money and energy into this thing.
Yeah.
Think about the security that they're having to spend, and it's
usually lawfare is designed to drain someone of their money, but in this case, because Mr. Trump is the GOP nominee for president, it's now keeping him in check, keeping him in one location so he can't get out on the trail. That's much more important than draining the money.
Yeah.
So this is.
I mean, just the amount of money it's costing the city of New York, right? I mean, it's costing a ton of money for this process.
Yeah, New York taxpayers are paying for this. That's why they should be. The ones that are election interference should be jailed too if they're found guilty of election interference.
That's what I say. Jail them all. Vote them out.
Vote them out. With that. Yesterday they requested a dismissal. The defense rested, and they requested a dismissal, and the judge said he would take it under advisement. So I don't know if he's trying to save face. I mean, if he dismisses it, then you know for sure it's all been theater. It's all been Benny Hill show. But if he lets it continue,
what happens though? What happens when is it like, okay, well, it's all done. Go. Everybody gets to go pick up their stuff and go home. This is crazy. And
Yeah.
when's it going to happen again?
Well, it's happening in Georgia, and they're writing the playbook on how to do this successfully. The Democrats are. And Republicans aren't going to do this. We're not dirty and nasty. I mean, we're on the conservative spectrum, you know. For the most part, well, politicians lie, but for the most part, mainstream Republicans, they don't lie. I mean, they're God-fearing, honest, upfront people. Conservative.
That's what we hope for.
That's what we hope for. All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again.
Take care, everyone. Have a good day.